What is up, YouTube? Johnny B here again today. We're gonna be working on the GR86 again. It's been a whole week since I've even touched this car. I've been so busy with other jobs, and I want to add some more stuff to it. One of the things that I want to add would impede me from removing the front bumper, so that's gonna have to wait. You guys will find out what that is here later on in the future. So I need to remove the bumper, and there's only two reasons why I would remove the bumper. And one of them is for a custom splitter. I kind of want to make a custom splitter for these cars. I think that it's going to be very simple compared to any other car, just because it's literally the same chassis underneath. The only difference is I'm going to have to redesign the front end because the front bumper is completely different, the way the shapes lead. I tried test fitting my old splitter on there, and it just does not look good at all. So it definitely needs a redesign to make it look good. So I want to do that. So that's one of the reasons why I removed the bumper. I do have the JDM lights right here. Those are the factory orange ones, but the JDM ones are clear, which would look really good because it matches with the DRLs that are on the headlights. And it's just little things like that. I think possibly another thing that I'd want to do would be an oil cooler, but there's not many oil coolers out there for this platform quite yet. I did see that there's possibly one, and then I think either Greddy or HKS is making one, but I don't really like the actual physical cooler. I like the CSF ones a lot better. So maybe making something custom would be the route. Or I still have my old FRS oil cooler, which I don't know if it would fit, but that one was a Setrab oil cooler with, well, it was a parent oil cooler kit with an upgraded Setrab oil cooler. So I wonder if that would work. The biggest issue being that we have a factory oil cooler now. So the sizing of the bolt to actually clamp stuff down could be different. And it's just a little bit complicated. I saw someone have to use two different types of fittings to bolt that on. So I don't know. Who knows? I might just wait till they make an actual kit for this car. But if the parent one I have fits, you know, I mean, I could probably make it work. And by deleting the old oil cooler and using the spacer, which you shouldn't need the spacer anymore because now we don't have that little tray that kind of holds the oil where the oil cooler's at. But if it works with that bolt that comes with it, or maybe with the factory bolt, then I think it's something that could be doable. So let's remove the bumper. Enough talking. So I got the bumper off, got the crash bar off as well. And the only reason I'm taking off the crash bar is because I'm thinking about chassis mounting the splitter like I had on my other car. And this time I'm deciding to not run splitter rods through the front. To make something very like nicer, a little bit hidden. And I have a bash bar from JDL that I could probably use, which is what I was using before to hold my splitter rods. So I think that'll be a nice little upgrade for this car, since I already have the bumper off. And this thing's exactly the same as the ones that were on there previously. since we have the bumper off and we're gonna be making a splitter for it, I've decided that I will install these at the same time since the bumper's off. Super simple, just a 10 mil. Replaces these. These look a lot better, and they have like this little part that sticks out, which is what becomes the orange light instead of the whole thing being orange. So I think it's pretty cool. It's just a 10 mil. You push these clips down, pop it off, pop these new ones in. Super simple little job. I didn't want to do them until I did a bigger project, so I'm doing them at the same time. And there we are. Look at that. It looks so much better. So here we are with the design. Wanted to incorporate more of a rounded edge here. On my old splitter, I had very straight cut, which is how the bumper was, but in this case, it's no longer like that. And you can see here, I kind of wanted an angle on this section. Wanted to round it off. Once it got to this section, I wanted it to not dip in, kind of how the bumper was. I kind of wanted it to just be straight even, but I did want this area to bulge out, kind of like how the bumper does in that area, as you can see. And it's basically the same thing, same concept all the way over here. I want to make it a lot less aggressive than my previous one because the other one was literally all the way up to here. It's about like 2.5 inches longer than what I'm gonna do this with this one, because it being that far out and when you're low, there's more chances of it scraping when you're going up something. So I wanted it to be a little bit more low profile, be a little bit less aggressive, and you know, because we're not going wide body either. And I also want it to be, you know, something that protects the bumper. I don't want it to be getting scraped. So at the same time, it'll have its function, both in downforce and protecting the bumper from anything that we can hit, how the other one, you know, the previous one did. The shape in the rear is pretty much the same. Can't really see the marks, the Sharpie marks, but I'm basically have the outline done. Now all I have to do is cut it out, mount it onto the car using these rods. I'm trying to decide how I want to mount these ones in front. These were originally going through the bumper, but I don't really want to drill a hole in the grill if I don't have to. So I think a nice clean splitter mount on through the inside would be, you know, ideal for me with this new build. So here's what the drawing looks like. This is the outer extended edge that I made. This is the inner section of the bumper, which is parts that, this is gonna basically be the gap in between everything. This is where we can't really do anything. So if I decide to want to put a rod through here, it's pretty much impossible. The bumper is about this much, so if I put a rod there, about that much would be without support. But if the rod is in this area, it should be supporting it. This area would get mounted to the chassis. That's what those two holes are for. The tow hook, the factory tow hooks get cut out, and then this is like a little section of the frame that needs to be cut out so that the splitter can sit flush. Yeah, it's looking good. We have some areas that we can address to mount, kind of like this little spot here where it kind of goes in. We probably mount a rod there. Probably get away with mounting another one in this area. And yeah, we'll see. So this is the front one, this is the one in the middle, and then there's one that I put in the back section here that would hold, probably bolt to this and bolt to this metal piece here. So we made a mess, but we got it done. Got everything cut, got the edge nicely shaved, sanded down, and then I went ahead and used the router to bevel the edge to make sure it's nice and smooth and it won't cut anybody. And it just looks a lot better to have a routed edge, which is basically a nice rounded edge on the splitter. And now I gotta start drilling some holes. I know the holes that go back here to the chassis are gonna be easy to do. The ones that are not are gonna be a little bit more difficult. But I think if I overlay the old splitter template, and if the holes are they clear in the same spot as the old splitter template, then I could probably just use that to use the same splitter rod and the one that goes there to fix it to this. All right, so I got the splitter on here to test fit. I just used the two bolts that go to the frame. I still haven't put the spacer that goes there. It's about a 1-inch spacer that makes sure that that tightens, just so I can have some play of adjustment and then seeing how I'm gonna mount it with what. But look at that. That already looks pretty sick. I'm excited. Super excited. I have to extend those a little bit longer just so that they reach the bottom, and then I gotta go find the other rods, which I have no idea where I left. But I do have a new one box set just in case. And then these are the rods that go towards the front that, I don't know. I'm deciding whether I'm gonna cut through the grill or not yet. If not, I'll probably just put them inside here somewhere. And it should be strong enough to where the bumper clears and everything. So I want it to be straight chassis mounted so that I don't have to worry about it bolting into the bumper or making holes in the bumper or anything. And I can easily remove the bumper and put it back on, regardless of if the splitter's on or off. So I think this is gonna be the same way, you know, same exact way how I had it on my other car. I just wanted to be a lot easier to remove the bumper later on in the future. And it just looks sick because you could drive the car technically like this with no bumper. Now you can see the reason I marked where the bumper went to. That way I knew exactly where to put the rods and they wouldn't interfere with the front bumper. And look at that, it's looking good. I think I still gotta put another one there, but I can't find it. So we can put that on later once I get it. I'm a little bit late to an event, so I need to go ahead and put the bumper on, throw the wheels back on with the new tires, and then go check out this event. We got the TEs, we got some new tires that we're gonna be trying out. They're 200 treadwear, so I'm gonna try them out. They were cheap, 600 bucks shipped. These Michelins are like 4 years old, so they're not very grippy anymore. And plus for track, these are complete garbage because they're just the regular all-season ones. So for daily driving, these are fine, but we're gonna try these out. These are 200 treadwear tires. I forget what they're called, but they've been sponsoring a lot of YouTubers through a company called Tire Streets. It's the 651 Sport. So we're gonna try these out on the track wheels, so that way we can run the stocks and we can run these tires as well to, you know, see if anything improves. Tires are mounted on the TEs, and now we just have to balance them. We're making sure that they weren't leaking any air as well. Got the wheels on the car. I added some Munteki hub-centric rings. For some reason, even though the TEs come 5x100, they don't have the exact center bore that we need for the car. And it's like very minimal, so it's very hard to find a hub-centric ring that is the correct size, but I found one and we got it installed just to make sure that we have a lot more strength and that the wheels are a lot better centered than it would be without. Even though these conical lug nuts center them, I still know that if I don't do that at high speeds, there's going to be some sort of like little vibration. So here it is, the final product. It's looking good, really good with the new tires actually. You don't realize how good tires make a car look until you put a brand new set on. Here is the splitter from above, all the way around. I left about like a 2-inch little space from the bumper to the edge of the splitter. I don't want to go too crazy, and it looks like it ended up being like really good because it kind of splits the air in front of the tire as well because of the camber. So I think that's a good touch. I was thinking it was going to be sticking out way too far from the bumper, but with the way the splitter lines up with the tire, it's really good. The steering wheel's turned a little bit, that's why the other side looks a little bit more out, but it totally gives a whole different look to the car, whole different feeling. So good. So there it is, guys. Custom splitter installed. Installed the little side markers. Installed some new tires so that we can get the car ready for the track. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I did install some hub-centric rings onto the wheels. For some reason they don't make them exactly the same. So hope you guys enjoyed this video of these, I guess, 3 mods that I did in one video. And we'll move on to the next. So as always, you guys have a great day.